Welcome to the program. Today we'll talk about what's going on in global financial markets. We'll get an update on earnings season and we'll also talk Olympics. I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money. Pete, market's still performing strongly. Good day yesterday. Your thoughts on what's happening at the moment?
I just don't think the market has a reason to sell off. I think we've got to a certain stage. I think earnings seasons in the US was okay. There was no reason to sell off
on
there.
Expectations.
I think fears about Brexit are being hosed right down. Look, there could be a curveball out there that could shock us, but at the moment, markets are thinking to themselves, we're happy where we are, can't sell off. Paul?
I thought last Wednesday when it fell away about 1.3% on low volume, that might be the start of a correction we needed, but it's bounced back just as quickly. I'm with you, Peter. I don't think there's much ammunition to sell it off. We're not seeing any data that really causes people any concern.
Well, the data was great. Yep. Clearly it was Saturday morning our time when the job number
in the US,
180,000 went to 255. It kind of raised question marks over that economic growth number. We're worried about the US. So the US is growing well. The good companies seem to be reporting pretty well.
Yep.
So NASDAQ's at all-time highs as well.
But not just the US markets all-time highs. The FTSE hit an all-time high. I mean, globally, markets are near all-time highs, and so for the Australian market, which is still a long way below, it's pretty hard to sell off while that's happening.
So should investors be buying, or should they be waiting for a pullback? That's the magical question.
I still think a pullback's out there waiting to happen, but it won't be a deep one.
I saw Anton Tagliaferro last night. He was very, very bearish about what's
all
going
fund
on at the
managers,
moment. They're all
money.
very bearish.
Yeah, they've been bearish. I mean, I probably just given the history of the last couple of years with the grinding nature of this market, you think whenever it gets a little head of steam, a pullback's not too far away. So, look, I'm probably not putting money into the market at the moment, but I don't think it's going to sell off in the short term. And if our earnings results, continue on the way they have so far, which is not too bad, they're not brilliant. There's not going to be much excuses. Too many excuses.
Earnings season, Paul. Commonwealth Bank out this morning. Good result. Talk us through that.
Yeah, pretty much as expected. 9.45 billion is the cash profit. There's about pretty much around 9.4. Dividend unchanged at 222 cents per share, taking it to $4.40 for the year. $4.20 for the year.
You've learnt your lines this morning.
Yeah, I have learnt my lines. I just don't need to check that one, so that's unchanged.
Good memory.
A little bit of capital improvement and not too much change on their net interest margin, which the market's really worried about. So not an outstanding result, but it's probably going to satisfy the market. I think a pass yesterday, given the way they reacted to the ANZ third quarter report, which didn't actually say much.
And went up.
And it went up. And mainly it was the confidence, the fact that their margin was basically held unchanged. And the same pretty much from what I could see from the Commonwealth Bank figures early on. I think the market will probably give this a tick. But Commonwealth Bank has been the lagger, and it's simply because it's been more expensive. And it's been a rotation.
Other companies have reported so far. Anyone taking your eye?
Look, I think Cochlear did pretty well. But they're all companies. This is interesting. Most of these companies are now priced to perfection. So they would really have to shoot the lights out to shock the market to take them up, or to disappoint greitly. And we haven't seen either of that actually.
I thought quite a bullish sign yesterday was both Cochlear and Rio were immediately sold off. In some cases 6 or 7%. It basically finished unchanged. So the market, when it's seeing a big dip, initially saying, that result was only okay, initial reaction was to dump it or take some profits from some of the traders. And the fundies came straight back into it. And by the end of the day, it was pretty much unchanged. So that to me shows you some strength, that on sort of okay news, the market's still okay with the result.
How was the revenue story with CommBank, Paul?
Look, earnings are only up 3% on the year.
That's EBIT we're talking about?
That's cash profit. So I think I haven't got into the income side, but it'll be pretty flat.
Top line will be flat. So still more cost out.
Still a cost out story. Low growth, and that's the challenge for banks. But overseas, we're seeing people now sort of focusing again a little bit on yield. We're seeing a bit of yield compression occurring, and banks, if anything, have been the movers in the last couple of days.
That's the point I want to make. That when a lot of people were bagging banks, we here were saying banks were buys. We've absolutely killed them. Really.
I mean, this market is so much momentum. It just seems like everything becomes fashionable. So we had a big fashion in sort of June, July for all the sort of smaller companies. All got bid up. The Transurbans, the AGLs, all the property trusts got bid up to crazy levels.
Interest rate plays.
Now momentum's sort of shifted again, and it's gone back. It seems like it's almost going back into business.
Who should we be looking out for this week?
Well, I think we've also got there's a few others coming up. There's
What a
some
question.
big
Just
ones.
right out there, Hey, just watch the Switzer show. Gold covered every night.
Yeah.
I mean, Telstra's obviously tomorrow, which is a big one.
Big one.
And the market's taken Telstra down a bit. It's sort of, I think, feeling that Telstra hasn't done as well. And it is going to be challenged. So I think probably the Telstra result tomorrow is the big one. If they're able to deliver as per their forecast and show that they haven't suffered too much damage in mobiles, and there's actually a little bit of growth occurring in some of their other, in broadband and so on, I think the market might be okay. But Telstra, I think, is probably the most important result.
Okay, right. Well, look, that's all we've got time for. Some great results at the Olympics so far. Australia doing really well in the medals tally, and wonderful to see the Aussie women win gold in the rugby sevens.
Without a doubt.
I'm Marty Switzer.
I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money.